What's up, you guys? Happy Sunday evening. I have 9.5 days until my Christmas break. Well, 9.5 working days until my Christmas break. So let the games begin tomorrow morning. Okay? All right. So listen, you guys, let's go ahead and get into this episode. We're here to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 10, Episode 10. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Okay? Y'all know I don't like to use the word filler episode. I think it's overused. I think people call an episode filler whenever there's just no fight or nobody yelling. But I think that this is a good example of an actual filler episode. In my opinion, until the last 5 minutes of this episode, there was really nothing major of any substance that happened in this moment. Now, that's just me. Y'all might feel differently, and that's cool. So let's start it, and let's roll through it. The first we have is a scene that really read for as a Mercedes commercial. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm wondering if Mercedes paid for some product placement in this episode, because the first episode was Wendy and Jazelle test driving an electric G-Wagon. And Jazelle said that she's trying to reduce her carbon footprint, but she couldn't think of the word ozone layer or climate change or the polar caps. Like, it was like you didn't know all the words. You just knew you were trying to reduce your carbon footprint. Like, it read like somebody gave you a script to read. Now, we see how you read. You see how you read scripts. Y'all saw her on Beyond the Gates this week. We're supposed to get some. I thought they changed the. Montrez, you live in the DC area, right? I know they were calling for snow, but I thought they had changed the forecast. Hold on. Oh, please. Hold on. Hold on. I thought they had changed the forecast for our area. I know they're still calling for snow in certain areas, but I didn't think they was calling for snow. Hold, please. Let me pull up my app, okay? Let me track the weather, okay? Yeah, I know they're calling for it in Virginia, but I don't even think they were still calling for it in our area. Yeah, they ain't calling for nothing tomorrow. Baby, it's supposed to be cloud. Listen, it's supposed to be clear all day. Now, it's going to be cold as hell. Yeah, they ain't calling for no snow. But I did see in Virginia where they were, because I think down in Richmond, they already starting to close stuff. Yeah, I said the snow, my bad. Well, y'all can send it back. I'll take another snow day. Y'all can send it right on back up the road. So, well, we've only had one snow day. The other day was a 2-hour delay. We don't have to make up 2 hours. As long as the kids eat lunch, we don't have to make the day up. That's why when we have half days, we have to have lunch first. We can't dismiss the kids until they've eaten lunch. If the kids eat lunch, it doesn't count as a day against us. And the stupid superintendent we had last year, he didn't apply, because usually we can get those snow days waived. He didn't ask for a waiver. He didn't even apply for a waiver, because 2 of those snow days last year we shouldn't have had to make up. Because I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry, y'all. Because it was a state of emergency called in the state of Maryland. When there's a state of emergency called, you have to close schools. The county doesn't make that decision. The state made that decision. There's no way in hell it can be a state of emergency and schools are open. Like, duh. Anyway, child, don't get me started on that stupid superintendent from last year. But anyway, moving right along. Y'all come join me at the bar. It's my 7th tropical sidecar, and they're amazing. Tracy is living her best life on that cruise. So anyway, let's get back to this. So they're doing this little test drive, Wendy and Jazelle. And they talk about Karen and how Karen should be let out. And then they talk about how the gang's all back and how do you feel about Monique being here? And so basically Jazelle is like, me and Monique need to have a talk. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about it, because I feel like me and Monique, we got some stuff we need to talk about. I do live in DC. What you talking about? I mean, I don't live in DC. I live in Maryland, but I'm from DC. But I don't live in DC. I live in Maryland. Anyway, so that was that. That whole scene was basically a setup for the conversation that Jazelle ends up having with Monique, and we'll get to that in a minute. Then we see, what's her name? Stacy meet her best friend is in town because she's doing her release, her Juneteenth release for her cannabis brand. She's doing it on Juneteenth. And the one thing I will say is this stuff was filmed so out of sequence. And the reason why I say it was, I mean, not filmed, but they've edited it so out of sequence. And the reason why I say that is because Juneteenth is like 2 weeks after that Pride event. And it ain't no way in hell that all this stuff has happened in the last 2 weeks. But it just seemed like a lot has gone on in a 2 week window. But neither here nor there. Stacy is a character and it's comical. We're going to get to Miss Stacy, child. But that's basically all there is to it. I mean, Stacy talks about how she's having such a hard time with the girls, yada, yada, yada. And listen, I be riding for you, Stacy. I really be trying to work with you, Stacy. But this whole cannabis thing, at the end of the day, Jazelle did not lie on you. Jazelle was not wrong. Last year, when Jazelle said at the reunion that you are working with somebody about a cannabis, because she clearly has backers. Like, she didn't come out of her pocket and do this like this. She's clearly working with a solid business partner. And Jazelle had her ear to the streets and she had the tea. And I can understand if Stacy wasn't ready to let the cat out the bag, or if it was too early in the business deal for her to say anything. It's kind of like a woman talking about her pregnancy early. You know, you don't want to release that information because it's like a jinx. But now's the time, Stacy, to say, look, y'all, Jazelle was right. You know, I was working on a cannabis line, but it was too early and I didn't want to jinx the deal and I wasn't ready to announce it on national television. So yes, I lied. See, sometimes a lie is an acceptable lie. In that situation, I would have let her have that lie because I understand the lie. You know, I'm not ready to tell the world that I have this business deal because it's not in stone yet. We're still in the very early stages. I don't want to jinx it. I didn't want it out there that soon. I could understand it. But Stacy, you really gonna sit here with a straight face and act like you didn't, that it wasn't like you weren't working on this deal. Now, I'm not saying that she got inspired by Wendy. And again, we've had this conversation a million times, so I'm not going to rehash everything I've already said. It's not that she needed Wendy's permission, but I do feel like it could have been a conversation because at the end of the day, the cannabis world is big enough for more than one person to be in it. But I do feel like it was a conversation. But moving right along, I ain't about to rehash it. We didn't talk that to death. So there's that. Then we have another throwaway scene with Ashley and her boy toy and basically her breaking up with him. Girl, don't nobody care. Like, I don't care. I mean, I had to give it the T-wave because I don't care nothing about Ashley and this boy toy. It was never meant to be anything long-term. You would never enter. That man was there to scratch the itch that you needed from time to time. He lingered on longer than you probably expected for various reasons. But at the end of the day, we're not going to sit here and pretend like you ever thought that he was going to be your man for the long haul. You just did not. And basically what she said was, but basically what she told that boy is, listen, you ain't got enough money for me. Because I bet you if he was a multi-millionaire and he was young and wanted kids, Ashley, you wouldn't have no problem still dealing with that man and popping out some kids for him. I'm sorry. I believe that. That is what I believe in. In my opinion, that is what I believe. I believe that if that man was a multi-millionaire, you'd be all right with popping out some babies. Just my opinion. And she basically said that she was looking for somebody that was going to help her pay her bills the way Michael did. I mean, that's what she said. I don't know what y'all heard, but I know what I heard, and that's what I heard. That she was looking for somebody to help her pay them bills. I don't know what y'all heard, but that's what I heard. Moving right along. So then we see Tia, and again, Tia, I don't know how many different ways you're going to tell us that you grew up rich. You done told us in every single episode. We on episode 10. We have heard 10 times that you grew up rich. Let's be clear. I ain't hating on you. I ain't hating on you because you grew up rich. But at the end of the day, girl, how many times you going to tell us? So her and Stacy end up having a conversation. And can I be honest about something right now? And I already know what y'all are going to say. And I know how Scotty going to feel about this tomorrow night on the Whether You Like It or Not panel. Can I be honest with y'all and tell y'all I don't give a fuck? I don't care whether Timu was flying out or flying in. I honestly don't. Because here's what I realize. And I know I get it that I have the vantage point that I'm on the outside looking in. Like, I get that. I get that I'm on the outside of this whole situation. But from where I'm sitting, if I were Tia or Wendy, I'm pausing because I'm doing some self-evaluating right now. So that's why I'm pausing. I'm doing a little self-evaluating right now, okay? And here's the self-evaluation that I'm doing. Am I giving Stacy a pass? Stacy did lie. Okay, full stop. Stacy lied. Was Timu flying out or was Timu flying in? He did. She lied. Full stop. And I really wish that Stacy, I really wish that Stacy would just fucking say the right words. Again, if Stacy had just said to Tia when she was at the pool and said, listen, you're the only person that I'm really allowing to meet my man, with everything going on with me and the rest of the ladies with them, last year, they saw how things went down. Timu saw how things went down last year, and he's just not ready to meet the rest of the girls. I just feel like we would be okay. We would be in a better place with Stacy. But I feel like at every turn, because now they're at the point now where they're nitpicking everything Stacy says. And I just feel like if she were better at explaining things, you know what I'm saying? Because I do feel like if Stacy had just said, listen, Timu ain't ready to meet y'all. So no, thank you, Wendy, for inviting, but I'm going to have to decline because Timu's not ready to do that. I honestly just feel like if you had just been honest about it, because let's be clear, Wendy is one of the few allies you have on this show, Stacy. You don't want to alienate her. Now, I know at the time, hindsight is 2020, but it's like, Stacy, girl, I don't know. It just frustrates me because I have this vantage point where I can kind of see from the outside in. But if I were a housewife and I was filming with Stacy, I can see how easy it is to be like, girl, she's just a liar. She's just lying. But I understand the lie. I don't know. It's crazy. Anyway, Stacy lied about Timu. Then she was gaslighting Tia like she was wrong, calling Tia messy because Stacy lied. Next, she is surprised that Tia is upset. Yeah, I'm going to get to that feel at the end of this episode because Stacy, girl, this is where listen, the end of the episode is where I get off the Stacy train, at least for this episode, but we're going to get there in a minute. If Timu has any sense, he would stay away because he probably would be accused of touching or grabbing the ass. Only if he touch or grabs the ass. I mean, I don't, But Nisa, there's a way to not want people in your business where you don't have to lie about stuff. Like, again, to me, those are unnecessary lies. You can clear up something. Like, for example, like I said, the lie about the cannabis. I understood why Stacy lied in the moment. But now is the time you come back around and say, hey, y'all, this is why I lied. Because, the deal wasn't done yet. We hadn't signed all of the paperwork. And, for Jazelle to just announce it at the reunion like that, I just wasn't ready because it was just way too premature to make that announcement. But an easy way to fix that is call the ladies over your house, Tell the ladies what you've been working on and explain it to them. That would have been a great scene. That would have been a great scene to just be like, hey, ladies, I'm calling y'all over because I want to introduce my product to you guys. And yes, at the reunion last year, Jazelle, you caught me off guard, girl. And everything wasn't dried in ink yet. You know, the ink wasn't dry and I just wasn't ready. But now I want to introduce my baby to you. Now, to be fair, maybe Stacy moved differently because of everything, the way the ladies have attacked her at the beginning of this season. Maybe that's why she switched up how she was, you know, how she handled it. I don't know. Maybe. What about Karen and Juan? Remind me, Phil. I don't know what you're talking about. Remind me. She said something like that on Watch What Happens Live. Yeah, because remember, those women were attacking her from the word go. So maybe she adjusted how she moved because of that. I don't know, child. I don't know. Candace's husband didn't touch or grab. Oh, I was talking about Ashley's husband because he did. They got it on tape. So I was thinking about Ashley's husband. Okay. Liars don't turn around to tell the truth. Touche. Stacy gives me, if she's caught stealing a candy bar, she would say, no, Really B stole it. Don't put it on me. Don't put it on Really B. All right, so then we have this anticlimactic sit down with Monique and Jazelle. Let me be honest. I think they thought this scene was going to eat, and it just was wah, wah, wah. For a couple of reasons. Reason number one, Karen said that Juan hugged her so tight, her breasts almost popped and had to seek religious counsel. Then always question, where's Juan? Yeah, she did say that. I don't have no defense because she did say that. And it was ridiculous when she said it. See how I can have a fave and still not defend everything my fave does? I love Karen. But y'all know that I don't defend everything that Karen does. Maybe she was drunk when it happened. Maybe. Okay, moving right along. Let me be honest and say this. That scene was anticlimactic for a couple of reasons. Reason number one, because Monique is not the girl she was, or woman. I don't want to be disrespectful. And I know that some of y'all don't believe that this is a new Monique. I know some of y'all feel like that it's an act or it's, you know, she's pretending to be Zen. But I really think that Monique has done the work. And I really think this is who Monique is. I'm just being honest. I really think that Monique has done the work. So you're not going to get the binder Monique. You're not going to get the angry Monique. You're not going to get the I have something to prove Monique. You're just not going to get that person, in my opinion. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Phil. He said, thanks, Really B. That's all I needed for Christmas. What? For me to admit that Karen said that and me not defend it? Listen, I can't defend. Listen, y'all know me. Now, I will defend to the end if I think somebody's right. But I can't defend no bullshit. Now, that was, when Karen said it, it was bullshit. But I had just forgot she said it, child. I just feel like, and I know that some people are never going to like Monique. It just doesn't matter. Some people, it doesn't matter what Monique does or says. Some people are just never going to like her. It's okay. Because I'm not here to be a Monique apologist, right? But I think that part of why we didn't get the scene that I think producers thought we were going to get is because Monique is not that person. The second reason why I don't think we got the scene that producers thought we were going to get is because Monique has done the work on herself. This is my opinion, y'all. Because Monique has done the work on herself. Monique, in my opinion, was able to take accountability for what she did and not worry about Jazelle taking accountability for what she did. Right? So us as viewers I ain't gonna say past tense. Us as viewers want want Jazelle to take accountability. We want Jazelle to take some ownership in the two of them big relationship breaking down. And we didn't get that. We got Monique apologizing. We got Monique acknowledging what she did and why she reacted and why she did the things that she did as far as Jazelle was concerned. They brought up the trainer thing. They brought up the big boy thing. And I think I will speak for myself. One of the things that I wanted to see is Jazelle say, you know what? I did constantly attack your marriage, and that was wrong. I did spread a rumor that may or may not have been true, and I shouldn't have done that. I did perpetuate a storyline that was questioning the paternity of your child, and I shouldn't have done that. Like, we didn't see any of that. And I think a lot of us, I'll speak for myself, were waiting for that, for Jazelle to do that. Now, to be fair, we don't know what was edited out. And the reason why I say that is for two reasons. We went through this last year with the Jazelle Wendy sit down. And we walked away feeling jilted and cheated out of the Jazelle Wendy sit down. And then come to find out, they sat there for hours and they talked everything out. And it was edited, and it was edited sort of one-sided. And I feel like that conversation was edited one-sided. In my opinion. I feel like we know at the end of the day, Bravo loves Jazelle. Well, this production company loves Jazelle. I don't know if Jazelle did apologize or not, but it was edited out. If it was there, it was edited out. Let me say that. I don't know if it was there or not. But if it was there, it was edited out to make it look like Monique apologized profusely for everything, and Jazelle basically said, I accept your apology. Now, see, I thought Monique looked nice in her confessional. I don't understand why she didn't have a green screen. I don't know why she was just in a fucking white room. That was stupid. But I thought Monique looked good. But I think Monique is beautiful. And I think Monique usually gets it right. Her and her stylist usually get it right. But that's just my opinion. If they love her, why would they paint her as lacking accountability and not being a kind person? I don't think that they see it that way. I think they see it as Monique kissing the ring. And because Jazelle is the queen, that's how I look at it. Now, I could be wrong. But I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. But that's how I see it. I see it as them making Jazelle the queen and everybody else bowing down to Queen Jazelle. So it's like Monique had to come in, and again, I understand what you're saying, though, because that's how I see it. Why wouldn't they soften Jazelle up? Why wouldn't they make Jazelle look like, like, damn, Monique, you know what? In hindsight, I've had a lot of time to think, and I could have handled some things better as well. And you're right. But again, we don't know if Jazelle said it or not because it wasn't edited. When did Monique start? Okay, Phil, I'm not trying to rehash season 3 of the Real Housewives of Potomac because that's when Monique joined the show. It was season 3, right? Did Monique join season 2 or season 3? So I am not going back to season 3, but please tell me how Monique started the relationship thing when the first grimy comment that Jazelle and Monique got into was when Monique said something about season 2. Thank you. Monique said something about selling their house, and Jazelle was like, "Oh, so you don't have a house?" And Monique was like, "We got 3." I don't understand how Monique started the relationship stuff when that was their first interaction. So please tell me when Monique started with Jazelle. But go ahead, moving right along. Let me know, Phil. Let me know, boo. Let me know. All right. So that was again, in my opinion, it was just anticlimactic. Okay. We as the viewers, I'll speak for myself. Y'all can speak in the chat. I didn't get what I needed out of that scene. I really felt like we was going to get more. The whole Sherman thing. But remember, Monique was, and I'm not saying Monique was right. Let's be clear. Monique was not right. Full stop. Monique was not right to try to attack Jazelle's relationship. Full stop. Full stop. But remember, that was after her and Jazelle were already into it, and Monique was coming for Jazelle and trying to get Jazelle off her back. Monique did not just start with attacking and trying to expose Jazelle. She didn't. That is, you starting in the middle of the story. If that's where y'all are going to start, you're starting in the middle of the story. That's not how it started. Because remember, that was the storyline going into either season 3, must have been season 3, whatever season that was, that Candace got married. Because that's when Sherman broke up with Jazelle, because he said he couldn't deal with the scrutiny and all of that, blah, blah, blah. And so, but remember, Monique didn't actually do it. She was going to do it, but she didn't do it. And she claims that, Chris was the one that basically talked her off the ledge. But she was going to expose it. And again, full stop, she was wrong. She was wrong. But anyway, moving right along. Monique also apologized about that at the reunion because she said she doesn't operate like that. Right, she did. She did apologize for it. Absolutely, she did. She did. She did. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true, but Jazelle gave slight shade coming for relationship started with Monique. No. See, y'all like have a revisionist history. That's what I said was that's where it started. That's not where it ended with Jazelle and Monique. That's where it started with Jazelle. Go back and watch season 2, Phil. That's where it started with Jazelle and Monique. Jazelle and Monique went at it the rest of the season. They bumped heads the rest of the season. Jazelle came for Monique every chance she got for the rest of the season. And also remember, back then, not only did Jazelle, sorry, y'all, piece of hair just flew in my mouth. Not only did Jazelle come for Monique, remember she had her hitter back then, Robin. So they was tag teaming Monique. Y'all go back and watch season 2. There wasn't just that slight shade and then Jazelle didn't say nothing else about Monique. Absolutely not. They went back and forth the whole fucking season. But okay, I'm not going back over it. Again, the scene was anticlimactic. Okay, moving right along. Robin never did anything to Monique. Phil, I'm moving right along. I'm not doing this with Phil tonight. Moving right along. Right, you don't remember Jazelle going over Monique's house and talking about Monique's house and how tacky it was? And Monique put Jazelle out. I guess you don't remember that happened in Everfield, do you? You don't remember when Jazelle showed up at Monique's house and was talking about Monique's house being hold on, y'all. Hey, I'm live. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you back. That's okay. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like the whole week. Right. You don't remember when Robin was in Monique's face and she had to get her up off of her with the umbrella? You guess you don't remember that either, Phil. You don't remember Robin getting in Monique's face and Monique had to get her up out her face with the umbrella? You don't remember that either. Go back and watch season 2. Anyway, I might have to go back and watch season 2 because y'all be doing a lot. But moving right along, child. Moving right along. Okay. Right, because Robin said Monique was bragging about her wealth. Well, Monique was, and Robin was probably a little sensitive because she ain't had none. That's when she was broke. So, But y'all, moving right along. I'm not going to keep doing this. Moving right along. Okay. It's all old. It happened 6-7 years ago. All I'm saying is I feel like, let me just say this. Can we agree? Can all 138 of us agree that Monique and Jazelle both behave badly towards each other? So if they were going to have a conversation clear in the air, apologies should have been given on both sides. Can we agree to that? Can we agree to that? That they both behave badly towards each other and that apologies should have been given on both sides. Can we do that? Can we at least do that, Phil? Okay. All right. We can agree. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Moving right along. So next, we see what's that boy's name? Kiki, Lord Kiki. KK's boyfriend. KK's boyfriend then went down to go look for a ring. He done invited her mama, and he done invited Angel down there to look at rings. Let me say something. Greg, thank you. Let me say something. It really seems to me that Greg mama, I mean, Stacy, shit. KK's mama and Greg just don't really like each other. Like, I know they play it off with a smile, but I don't think they be playing. But that's cute. That's cute, girl. I hope you got your ring. Maybe he gonna propose around the Christmas tree. Moving right along. Then we have this scene with Ashley and her sister. She's getting ready to move into her dorm, I guess. She's going to the University of Maryland. She's getting out of her father's house. Can I say something? And I understand that when kids get to be a certain age, I guess they're not necessarily protected. But actually, I think this was low down. I felt like this scene was low down because number one, girl, you have ran this storyline in the ground. This is not the first time that we have had to hear about your mama and this no good man. You done told us that the man that they was homeless living under the bridge. You done told us that Michael was paying their rent. You done told us that you was paying their rent. You done told us that if it wasn't for y'all, your mama would be on the streets. You done told us that your mama get up and go work an 8-hour job because this man won't work. You have drugged that man up and down. But this is the first time I really heard you talk about the daughter. And maybe she's mentioned it in the past, y'all, and I just never paid attention. Excuse me. But I felt like it was so unnecessary. I felt like it was so unnecessary for you to have that young lady. Why couldn't that scene just have been about you helping her buy stuff for her dorm room? And you could have talked about how you so glad you could pay it forward because Uncle Lump was there for you when your mother didn't have it and helped you with college. And now you are blessed to be able to pay it forward. Why couldn't that have just been a great moment down to the IKEA, letting that girl pick out some shit for her dorm room, and y'all could have left it at that? Why did you have to make that girl sit on that couch and traumatize her on national television about her daddy and have her talk about her daddy being an alcoholic? That was so fucking unnecessary. That was so, because you're desperate for a storyline. Because you don't have shit else to talk about. I just thought that was so unnecessary, y'all. It was so unnecessary. And I didn't find it. I just thought it was cruel. I thought that was a mean thing for Ashley to do to that girl. It was unnecessary. We didn't need none of that. Moving right along, because we just didn't need none of that. All right, so next we have the battle of the pop-ups. Now, because I understand editing and I understand how these things go, I don't even think these things happened on the same day. Let me tell you why I don't think these things happened on the same day. Because nobody mentioned Wendy's Happy Eddie pop-up event. Nobody. Like, generally, if they have two events happening on the same day, they'll mention it. Oh, I can't go to Wendy's event because I'm going to Stacy's event. Oh, I can't go to Stacy's event because I'm going to Wendy's event. Oh, you know, Wendy's having an event today too. Oh, did you know that Stacy's having an event today too? None of that happened. The people who did not go to Stacy's event made a conscious decision not to go to Stacy's event. So I don't think these events happened on the same day. I think it was edited that way to give us the contrast and show Stacy's event versus Stacy's event versus Happy Eddie's event. Now, let me just go on and get Happy Eddie out the way. So Happy Eddie had this pop-up. Is it me? Is it me? Or did it seem like Happy Eddie's pop-up event was a little empty? Right. And Wendy didn't mention Juneteenth. Right. Is it me, or did it just seem like that? And I'm not saying that Happy Eddie's not successful. I'm just saying, is it me, or do it seem like that event was a little empty? Like, we only saw one customer, and that was Wendy, who couldn't even remember her damn PIN number for her bank account. Moving right along. Now, on the other side of town, well, actually in a whole different state, because Wendy's event, I'm pretty sure was in Maryland, and Stacy's event was in Virginia. She's having her launch of her Shiloh event. And there were people there, yada, yada, yada. And at a certain point, so Ashley showed up, and Ashley said, you know, I'm here to support. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like Ashley drew the short straw. I feel like Ashley, Jazelle, Jazzy, and Angel played rock, paper, scissors, and I feel like Ashley lost. Because I don't a bit more believe than the man in the moon that Ashley went to that event because she was really interested in supporting Stacy. I do not believe it. I don't believe it. I believe that Jazelle said, hell no, absolutely not, I ain't going. I believe that KK said, hell no, absolutely not, I ain't going. And you know, Angel do whatever KK do, so that's why Angel wasn't coming. And I feel like production was like, one of y'all motherfuckers need to come. I'm sorry, that was a bit harsh. They didn't say that word. One of y'all got to come. Now, Tia came, but I think Tia wanted to come. Well, you know what I'm saying, relatively speaking. But I don't believe for a minute that Ashley showed up because Ashley wanted to be there. Now, Tia comes in and Tia says, listen, I really want to move forward with Stacy. We did talk, you know, but I'll move accordingly. When it comes to Stacy, I'll move I'll move accordingly. Ashley shows up, and the dress that Stacy has on, Ashley actually wore that dress the week before. And this is actually the second time that has happened. Look. And this is where I'm saying production, now y'all doing a lot. Because we have talked about this, y'all. These women wear the same shit all the time. Because they go to the same stylists that pull the same looks. We have seen them in their confessionals have the same fucking outfits on from show to show to show to show. We have seen Candy wear the same confessional look as Melody from Love and Marriage Huntsville. We have seen Bambi from Love and Hip Hop wear the same confessional look as one of the ladies from Real Housewives of Atlanta. We have seen Teresa Giudice wears the same confessional look as somebody from another friend. It happens all the time. Now, I don't know why Stacy had that jean dress on that Ashley had the week before. I ain't gonna say when she wore it. I don't know when the hell Ashley wore it. But again, I think that now, because the spotlight and the magnifying glass is on Stacy, it's just now everything she does, they're gonna make an issue out of. Stacy already said that she did that shit on purpose last year. She said, yeah, I wore the dress. I knew that, yeah, because she did it on purpose. It was on some old petty shit. Mia and Ashley have worn Mia outfits. Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like now, because they're on Stacy's ass, they're just going to make an issue out of it. Because let's be clear. If they had never mentioned it, I would have never known that Ashley had worn that dress. I would never have known that Ashley had worn that dress. But neither here nor there. We go through the whole pop-up of it all. So Ashley and Stacy decide to have a conversation, I guess, to clear the air. And they didn't really get anywhere because basically, and I'm going to be honest, I felt Ashley on this one. She said, girl, every time I try to move forward and give you the benefit of the doubt, girl, you do something else. Because honestly, this episode, that's how I felt about Stacy. Stacy, I've been trying to work with you, girl. Stacy, I've been riding for you. I have been. I've been riding for you. But baby, this episode, Stacy, I ain't got a lot for you. Because I felt like, yes, you lied about some stuff. Now, do I think the lies were serious? I think the lies could have been easily explained. You chose not to. You could have easily explained some of those lies, but we ain't going to act like you didn't lie because you did. It does, Nandy. It was the same dress. The only difference between that dress that Mary, thank you, because I just said that a few weeks ago. The only difference between the dress that Mary had on in her confessional and the dress that Ashley wore when they were at Nevis, that peach looking like a big flower dress, is that Mary had she had mesh up there, so her whole top cleavage area wasn't just open, and Ashley's it was just like a halter, and it wasn't mesh. That's the only difference, but it was the same dress. So Ashley was just basically like, girl, every time I try, it's another thing and another thing and another thing. And Stacy was like, well, can we just move forward? Can we figure out a way to move forward? And Ashley was like, girl, if you stop lying, we can move forward. Now, because it's coming from Ashley, it's hard to accept the messenger. But again, she didn't lie. She didn't lie. So then we pull the ladies. They pull the ladies into a little back room area where they could talk or whatever. And yeah, well, Mugler gifted all the housewives that, and I'm sure part of the agreement with Mugler gifting that, I'm sure part of the agreement was that they would wear it on the show. So yeah, but they did. They wore the Mugler cat suits out, honey. I was so sick of them damn cat suits. Oh boy. Now, Stacy and Tia get into it. Now, I'm going to be honest. I honestly have not decided yet whether legitimately Stacy just hit her max and she was over it and she was tired of being attacked and tired of being yelled at and tired of her words being picked apart, or if it was just performative because she needed a moment. I'm just gonna be honest. I haven't figured out which one is which. Okay, thank you, Deandra, baby. I'm sorry, Deandra. Did I say it right? Richardson. She said that Monique just said on Watch What Happens Live that Jazelle took a lot of accountability, but it was not shown. And I believe that. Thank you for bringing that information back. Thank you. So let me say this. Stacy, girl, you lied. Now, I personally don't care whether Timu was coming in or Timu was coming out, but I understand why you were lying. You just didn't want Timu to meet Wendy, and that's what you should have just said. But you can't get mad at Tia because Tia said, girl, you lied, and you put me in a trick bag because you lied to me about something and then went and told Wendy something totally different. You didn't put me in a situation where, excuse me, and at least if you're going to put me in your lie, girl, tell me I'm in the lie. Tell me I'm in the lie. Don't just have me out here And I done said that you said left to right, and you done told her right to left, and now I'm sitting here looking crazy because I said, well, nah, Wendy, she told me right, left to right. And Wendy said, nah, she told me right to left. Girl, you got me looking crazy. I personally, I guess, like I said, I just can't figure out if this was just performative or not. Tia got activated, baby. Tia used the F word. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. That scene just didn't do for me what I think it did for other people. It just didn't do nothing for me. Because I don't know what to do with it. Do I think that what Stacy and Tia are arguing about is this deep? I just don't. I don't think the lie was this deep, but compounded on the type of season that Stacy is having, I understand why it's blowing up. But I don't understand why it got to the point where, Stacy is like, well, just get your ass out. Just get your ass out. I don't know. I don't know. And I guess that's why I'm just struggling with the words, because it just didn't hit me. Like, I was like, it didn't make me feel no kind of way. And even with her putting Tia out, I felt like that was an overreaction to the conversation. I just don't think that the conflict was that deep. Because let's be clear, Stacy, and maybe this is the first time that Stacy's been in a position to put anybody out. Maybe that's what it is, y'all. Because at all of these other events, it wasn't Stacy's event, and she couldn't actually put nobody out. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is the first time that Stacy has actually had the power to remove somebody, and she exercised that power and said, get the hell out. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. And Tia, you just happen to be the one to get it because you were the one to challenge her in a moment where she was in the power position. Boom, really, B. Boom. Because I just was, but there you go. Boom. Subconsciously or consciously, I guess Stacy was like, the next time one of them hoes try me, they got to go. Maybe that's what it was, y'all. Atalia says Stacy was fed up. She kept saying, can I finish? Thank you for the super chat, boo. Phil, surprise, disagrees. He says Stacy was caught because she is lying. Well, I mean, yeah. Thank you for the super chat. It seemed forced, but I'll listen to you, teacher. I still feel like it was forced. Now, let's be clear. I just think that Stacy, now that I'm thinking about it, I just think that Stacy made up in her mind that anybody that try her at this event, they was gonna have to go because it was her event. Now that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, child. That's just my opinion. Tia is giving, let me get on the phone and tell Jazelle how I called her out. Right. Okay, Miss S.H. Burnell. Child. But I still agree. I still think it was an overreaction, but I think the overreaction was that. All right. Couple of quick announcements, you guys. Earlier today, I did announce that myself and Shane the City will be doing a candle making event in January, stepping into the new year with intention. Oh, I forgot to post the flyer. I'll post the flyer when I get off of here. But I will drop the link. It's a Google Doc if you are interested. If you live in the DC area and you are interested, I will drop the Google Doc in the chat. Also, ReallyBTV is sponsoring Christmas baskets, just like we did for Thanksgiving. If you or somebody in your family is in need for for the Christmas holiday, we know that life is still lifing for a lot of people. So if you know somebody that could benefit from receiving a Thanksgiving dinner, please fill out that Google link. I just dropped it in the chat. Please fill out that Google link. And I am taking donations. You can send donations to my Cash App, my PayPal, or my Zelle. If you want to donate to providing a dinner for somebody for Christmas, a Christmas dinner. It's the same thing we did for Thanksgiving. And I'm going to ask that if, just so that we can make sure we reach as many people as possible, please do not, I'm going to ask that you try to send me somebody new. If you sent me some people for Thanksgiving, now, I mean, obviously, if it's extreme and they are still in need, by all means, we want to help as many people as we can. But I want to make sure that we're reaching out as much as we can. RENEEINC. Lord, I can't remember my email. That's my PayPal and my Zelle right there. Really, if they're showing women from different franchises wearing the same outfits now, watch what happens. Oh, okay. Yeah, because, child. Thank you, Leslie. I've been seeing your comments. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you, boo. And if you are in the DC area and you want to join us, my DC folk, and you want to join us for our candle making activity at the end of January, it's going to be tentatively, the date is January the 31st. We'll be making candles with essential oils, and the essential oils will be chosen with intention moving into the new year. So it's a class to teach you about the different essential oils and what they mean. And then, I need to let you know that a woman had a Bath and Body 3-wick candle and it blew up in her face. Was it rigged? Why is the candle blowing up? Girl, I mean, I'm not saying it like that, but okay. Okay. No, Monique is not teaching at the Informed. Shut up. That's the link right there. If you're in the DC area and you're interested in coming to the candle making, we only have 10 slots, and we actually have less than that now because some people actually paid today. So once you pay, you are locked in. But please fill out that link, and once you pay, I will highlight it on my spreadsheet that you have paid. Once we get 10, because we only have slots for 10 people. Once we get 10 people, we'll shut it down. I will add you to the wait list until everybody has paid, and then I will let you know. So if you're interested, and we're going to, it's a Black-owned candle making store shop down at the National Harbor. So, all right. It's not Current's candle. You be quiet, girl. But I'll put the flyer on my community wall right now on both channels. I meant to do it earlier and I forgot. So I'll do it right now. With that being said, y'all, let me get out of here. I will talk to y'all later. Peace. Good night.